Welcome back to Let's Play The Legend of Zelda. I'm playing this game for the 8th time instead of finishing my backlog HD. Last time, I kind of lied to you, but at the same time, not really. I said that I was going to be going and finishing a lot of things out at sea, and I only really did, well, one thing out at sea. So, you know, kind of a lie, kind of not really. I was off the mark just a little bit, but I was getting there. Anyway, this episode I am actually going to continue on and finish up some stuff out at sea. We have nothing else left to do in Forest Haven, so we're just kind of out of here, and we're actually going to move on, get this purple rupee, and head to the southeastern corner of the map, because there's two things I want to do there really quickly. So I have a confession to make. Somewhere out here in the southeastern part of the world, you will find treasure chart number 3, or the treasure connected to treasure chart number 3, rather, or 33. Can I speak? Probably not. I don't have treasure chart 33. I don't know where I could have gotten it. I don't know what I've done wrong. It was probably in a dungeon somewhere, because that is the one point of the game where I actually don't research. So, if you're looking for treasure chart number 33, well, good golly gosh darn. This is where you're gonna find it, in the southeastern part of the map. That being said, I was a doofus, I messed things up, and I couldn't get that to work. Let me see, I should probably put some bait on here so that I can, you know, use that. There's a submarine, though. This is the other thing I wanted to do here. So this is still a very beneficial trip for you, even if you don't have sea chart number 33. So let's hop right in. We've already seen the spoils that a good old... Ooh, should I use... I'm gonna try this. We've already seen the spoils that a good old submarine can get us, so it's very much worth your time. I'm gonna be using my newfound abilities with the boomerang. That actually goes a lot farther than I thought it did. I guess I just never think to use the boomerang, which is really dumb on my part. But it's a good way to clear out some of the things that you may not want to deal with while actually in battle. For example, those keys. Man, keys are annoying. I really don't want to deal with them, especially when I'm dealing with bokoblins at the same time. So, kind of smart to take them out first with your good old boomerang. I think you could deal with that earlier, or do this submarine earlier. I'm not entirely sure if the King of Red Lions gates you off from traveling the sea until this point, but I believe you can tackle this a bit earlier. So, if you do that earlier and you didn't have the boomerang, this could be a little bit more challenging. But this is pretty similar, without the keys involved, this is pretty similar to the last boat we had, or the last submarine we went into, rather. Except, you know, no mouse, replaced by keys. Actually, I don't mind that. I think the rats are probably the most annoying part of Wind Waker, or the most annoying enemy in Wind Waker, rather. The keys are annoying, but I think I've gotten so used to dealing with them in every other Zelda game at this point that I just don't care that much. It's not like a massive deal anymore. When I see them, I'm like, ugh, but I'm not crying in fear, you know? Whereas with this, oh man, oh, rats, oh, disgusting. They make me so sad. I see them and I'm like, oh. There's real tears falling from my cheeks that you just heard. And we get a piece of heart. Again, very much worth your time. Yikes. I love smacking my head on things, apparently. It's been a while since I last played, so we're gonna have some of these issues from time to time. Misa thinks. I've been working on getting my microphone and my visuals to work, and I'm actually doing this as a bit of a test video, so we'll see if this works out. I assume it will, but if you hear any obvious cuts in audio, you know, I had to do some changes. I had to fix things up. But anyway, more importantly, let's kill all these guys. There's a treasure chest over there, so I want to go... Or no, that's just a... Is that a It's definitely a treasure chest. I'm not blind. I thought it was a barrel for a second. But yeah, I'm going to go around here. If I see anything interesting, I'll show it. But for the most part, these are just three things we've already seen pretty frequently on the ocean. 20 bucks. Not bad. So with that done, there is something else in the general vicinity that we can go and do. There is an island called the Boating Course. If you go immediately west from here. I don't know why that was difficult for me for a second. I had to go look at the map, and that was I don't know why. But immediately west from here, in F7, you will end up seeing the Boating Course. I'll put a map up on screen to show you exactly what I'm talking about when it comes to F7. There's a lot of maps out there for the Great Sea because it's this big fat chart, and it's actually really easy to map out and map on a grid-based system, and it makes a lot of playthroughs a lot easier to follow. So this is the map I'm using for this playthrough, so if I ever mention this, just know that this is the map I'm referring to. So yeah, the map that I'm using has A on the x-axis and the numbers on the y-axis, so that's just the way I'm going to be referring to these things. I just kind of want to throw it out there, just want to let you know. So if I say like we're going to F7, then you can figure it out via that if you're playing alongside me. So now that we're here, let's hop off the boat, cruise in here, and check out the island. There's a mini game we can do here. I don't know if we can do it just yet, and I don't think I will be doing it just yet.
Hey, that's a pretty slick boat you got there, kiddo. So, what do you say, kiddo? You want to play this game for 30 rupees?
What do you say? Tell me the rules first.
Well, I ain't that good a talker. But here goes. Now listen up. The deal is, you take your boat and sail over the barrels, floating in the water, and see how many rupees you can bring to the finish line within the time limit. There's two kinds of floating barrels you gotta watch out for. The ones that float on their sides and the ones that float upright. You can get the rupees above the barrels floating on their sides just by sailing right over the barrels. But if you run into barrels floating upright in the water, they'll rough you up. You know you can press ZR to jump your boat, right? Yeah, well, you get the rupees over the upright barrels, you gotta jump with ZR. It's the only way. The barrels get replaced, or get placed out there based on which way the wind's blowing. So watch the wind gauge behind your boat real careful like. You can only use the regular sail in this race. None of them fancy speedy sails, you hear? Oh, and one more thing. If time runs out before you finish, you lose. So watch the timer too, will ya? Them's the rules. What do you say? Want to give it a shot? Maybe in a minute. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to make you so mad, but maybe in just a second, because there's something else I want to do here first. Smash all these, because I have to. Got a total of 3 rupees from that. Very, very worth it. If I didn't get those 3 rupees, I would have been sad for the rest of my life, and that's a fact, Jack. So, otherwise, there is something over here. We will be doing that in just a second. I will test it out. Test the waters, if you will. Alright, no, we're done with that. But I want to go over here first, because there is this conspicuous island with grass, and I will not leave any grassy island untouched by my gross little link hands. There's also a hole here, less important than the grass, but you know, maybe I should at least think about it. So this. I forget exactly what this is. There's these weird little gross... I forget what they're called, and I don't even want to think about it right now. These guys freak me out. I don't know if I've actually seen them just yet. I think I've seen them once before, in the very beginning of the game in the Forsaken Fortress. The point is, ew, I don't like them. I think I've talked about how much I don't like them, just because they're, like, really annoying and creepy at the same time. Super easy to kill, but the noises they make. Ugh. Ugh. What a freaky... Look at him. What a freak. Ew. I think they keep spawning in, so what I want to do... is not run all the way back there, but instead, stay on the move, and get hit immediately as soon as I do what I want to do. Get out of here. Lock onto all of these with my boomerang, and only get one of the switches. Okay. I don't have to get them all at once. That's beneficial. That's barely off. There we go. And that's good. That'll get me the chest I want. At first I thought it was a kill all the enemies room. No. Gotta pay attention. Gotta look around. Which is hard for me sometimes. Hard for me to realize. Hard for me to remember. And that is a submarine chart. Now you know where to find the enemy submarines that surface from below. So now, we can actually check that out. You won't be able to... Oh, let me get out of here first so I can check this out. You won't be able to see it, but it is now available to us on our map. I'll show a little picture of it on screen right now so you can know exactly what we got, since I am playing with a gamepad and I can't entirely show you what we just got, which is a little saddening. I wish I had a way to record the gamepad, but...
it's essentially the same price as purchasing a 3DS capture kit, and with the declining interest and declining amount of exclusives for the Wii U, it's a little bit of a bad investment, methinks, you know. There's a lot of different things that I can get on different consoles now that are a little bit easier for presentation purposes. Specifically, oh my goodness, Wonderful 101 is getting a remake. It got kickstarted, and that's lovely. That's pretty exciting, but back onto the topic at hand. Yes, back onto the topic at hand. I entirely forgot that I was going to talk to this guy and actually attempt his boating minigame. I am such a jerk. He got mad at me because I stood him up, but you know what? It's fine. I think it's time to play now. I've been getting a lot of rupees, and I've been at my max for a while now, which is a little bit saddening, but hey, I'm really dumb. I'm really dumb, and I have been paying attention to the fact that I haven't been getting any rupees at all. Alrighty, then go down to the starting line. So, he's already explained all the rules to this minigame. It's pretty simple. Pay attention to the way the wind blows and chase the rupees. Jump over stuff, ride over the barrels that are sideways. It's a pretty simple minigame. I don't remember playing it very much on my original playthrough. Fun fact about me as a person. I was very much, for a long time, a do what's required and nothing else type of guy. And I attest that I contribute... I cannot speak. That's what I'm saying right now. I think that's mainly because I started playing games with platformers, and, you know, RPGs and action RPGs or adventure games never became something I was interested in until much later in my life. I played Ocarina of Time maybe like 5-ish years ago. That might be a little bit too soon, a little bit too far back, one of the two. But the point is, I actually didn't really enjoy adventure-type games until I tried out Ocarina of Time, or I wasn't really interested in any of them. So, whenever I did get into Zelda, I was very much a, I'm gonna do what's necessary and only that type of person. And over the course of time, obviously I've changed quite a bit. I am much more into 100%ing things. I'm much more into doing everything available to me, and I think Let's Plays have become a massive part as to why that's the case. I don't know. That's just kind of me, though. I've always been a little bit of a doofus, so a lot of these things, I just don't remember playing them, simply because I didn't think that I wanted to play them at the time, if that makes any sense. But there we go. That's the whole thing. Really not hard. The time limit's not strict, and I missed, like, 2 groups of rupees, and I think they were all just 1 rupee each. So really not a big deal. Oh, way to be! Alrighty then, here's the 149 rupees you collected as promised. They're all yours. Enjoy, kiddo. Looks like you made a fortune. Come back and play again sometime. So that's a nice way to grind up rupees, if you need them. I'm currently at my max, so that wasn't entirely useful. But yeah, that's there. I'm probably gonna come back to that later and grind using that. But for now, let's move on. So for this portion, you actually do want to... First of all, there are sharks here. They charge at you and stuff. Neato. But for this next portion, you do actually just want to hug the bottom portion of the map. So you want to go from EF all the way to EC, as I think where we're gonna end today. The Angular Isles. So I think what that was actually, I think that's an allusion to the original side quest for the colored pictograph, because that was really the only thing those fireflies were used for, to my knowledge, and he just straight up brought them up. He was like, yep, these fireflies, they exist, there's so many colors, and I don't think there's really any other reason for him to bring that up at all. So that might just be kind of a carryover from the original game, which is interesting. Anyway, this island right here is a little bit peculiar. It's just a crap ton of boxes sitting here. Who left them here? I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. But we're going to pull these boxes out simply so we can get up here, deal with this blue choo-choo, because they appear all over the place. I see them so much, even though they're so rare. And we also just want this spiky chest, so. With that, we get a piece of heart. Very, very nice. We have, let me check. Oh, we got a heart container last piece of heart we got, apparently, and I just didn't notice. Nice. Great, we are on our something or another piece of heart. Heart container is what I meant to say. Very cool. Counting, I didn't remember, and I'm out of magic. Ooh, that sucks. This is gonna be a little bit awkward in that case. So I don't have any potions, I don't have any grass on this island. I'm usually not this low on magic. I don't know why I am for this playthrough, but this means that I cannot get over there, even though there's very clearly something up there and I have the means to get up there. So I'll be back. I'm gonna quickly run to an island around here and grab some magic and then come back and deal with this, because I definitely want to go into that hole. I'm back here on Angular Isles. Let's actually do that now, shall we? I need to pull these out again. Are you kidding me? Dude, what a chore. What a bore. No, there's actually a cute little puzzle, though. Not very difficult, per se, but it's certainly very nice. I like it. I'm actually kind of a fan of block pushing puzzles, simply because they're really easy, and finding the most efficient route through some of them is actually quite fun for me. Maybe that's just me, but that's the way I see it. Anyway, another blue choo-choo. They always respawn in the same places, so if you want to grind blue choo-choo, you can just kind of go from island to island, though they don't drop the same things, apparently, which I didn't know. I don't know if they'll ever drop blue choo jelly again. I assume they will, eventually, but maybe they won't. I don't know. Who knows? Anyway, into this hole. This is very visually similar to other holes we've been in before. Now, can we do this yet? I don't think we can. Because if you notice, there's a chest there. It is a little bit, how should I say, dark. It's not very, it's not illuminated, if you will. We can't do anything with this just yet. There's some lights up there, and we'll be able to do something here later, but for now, it doesn't look like we can do anything. Okay. I marked this on my map. I was a little bit off, but whatever. I wrote it down. I guess I just must have meant to keep it for later. In my quest for magic, I've traveled to a part of the sea we have not been to just yet, and it's kind of important. This looks different. A little bit ominous, not gonna lie, and we're gonna have to come back here later. So, sailing around, having a good time, just checking things out is actually a really good way to see some of the things you're gonna be dealing with in the future. Though I guess that's kind of a no-brainer, no crap Sherlock. Doesn't have the same punch without using the inappropriate word. But, you know, that's just not how I be sometimes. Ice Ring Isle. Very fitting. I would have never guessed. So that actually is good information. But at the same time, similar to some information I believe we've heard earlier, that's not very beneficial to us right now. So if you ever need to hear that again, because you don't know exactly what to do on that island, then go for it a little bit later. But for now, it's really not all that beneficial to us. Like, we can't do anything there just yet. So he has good intentions, but wrong time, man. This right here is another place we've never been to. I'm going to see if there's a fish around here. There you are, good sir. I'm probably going to have to drop by Beetle's shop in a little bit, so if I do have to end up returning to Forest Haven, it's not that far away. It's not a big deal, but I prefer to not. Southern Fairy Island. Try using an animal, dig something up. Very, very interesting. That is something I think we can actually do right now if we want to, but I'm going to hold off. So, I mentioned the name of this area not simply because common courtesy, you know, telling you the name of the area we need to go to, whatever. But this is actually very, very interesting. Can we access this area yet even? Don't think we can. These areas are very, very important for you. There's some you can access already, and, you know, they have the name Fairy on them. I'm sure some of you longtime Zelda fans will be a little bit understanding of what this is. But for those who don't know, I'll keep it a little bit of a secret for just a wee bit longer. And there's another blue choo-choo. I swear they're rare, guys, I swear. On our way back to the Angular Isles, I do kind of want to do a little bit, just a teensy bit, because we have a lot of areas that we're passing by, and there's a lot of fish I gotta feed. I'm not going to do anything here just yet, because I don't think there's much we can do. There's a lot of things I can dig out from that area, but also at the same time, I am full on up of rupees, which is never a bad thing, but at the same time, I don't really need that right now, so we're just going to ignore that. Juai Reef. This map is actually coming along quite nicely. That is also another really good piece of information. There is a ferry, keep some big Octoroks in mind, and that's all I'll say about that for now. Just so you know, can't do that just yet, but I will immediately get to that because that is a very beneficial, what we get from that quote-unquote side quest is a very beneficial thing. So keep it in mind. I say this about a lot of things, but this one specifically, keep it in mind. It is super beneficial. We have done a lot out on the sea this episode. I think I am pretty much done. So, without further ado, next time on Let's Play The Legend of Zelda The Wind Waker HD, we will continue on, go explore more of the Great Sea, and mark more places on my map, because I'm really feeling that right now. But again, that's for next time. Until then.